What's up, everybody? It is that time again. It is time for the weekend review. So, as usual, we're going to start from the top down. We have some really interesting stuff happening in the market right now with the war going on in Iran and Israel, or the potential thought of war. We know there's some bombings and stuff been going on. To be quite frank, I understand everybody's concerned, but as of right now, the chart still is very much bullish. I will say that was a huge monthly level that we touched perfectly up there at 60.63 during the RTH session. We also played this daily over here, just absolutely phenomenal at 60.72 at the highs for the high tick on Globex. Okay, so this was pre-market, etc. But I want to point out one thing. Even though this is a monster area, I'm not saying this can't come down, because it can. As of right now, we haven't lost support on the daily time frame, and so I am still thinking that this is a up, and we're going to talk about where that shifts at. And essentially, just so you guys know, I've already rolled over. This is the U contract, this week is going to be interesting because rollover sucks. If anybody who's been trading with me a long time knows I absolutely hate rollover. So this could be a tricky week, and I have some areas here in which we're going to discuss what I consider like a no-fly zone. I'm just not going to trade in. So anyways, I just wanted to show you what's kind of going on here, and this is going to be a big deal for us moving forward. Obviously, this 30-23 area has been pretty significant for us. It has held up multiple times. This is actually this mini leg right here. I'll show you what's going on here. So the way this is broke down is it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here, let me go to this color. 1, 2, 3. All right. So until we really kind of get a solid close underneath some support, and really the close underneath 50 will do it. And I'll show you. That was when we start to get kind of weak on the daily time frame. Okay. So, but there is still some support underneath this, so we'll see what happens. And I just want to let everybody understand one thing. War sucks. It's terrible, but it is inherently bullish. So once the dust settles, this could be, because, this thing could continue to move right back up. So don't let Twitter and the geopolitical bullshit and all the volatility get you all shook. This is not anything to be overly concerned about. I saw people like, oh, I'm selling all my stocks, and oh, I'm completely flat here. So stupid. All right, so again, I'm not saying this thing can't tank, but as of right now, it hasn't given me reason to believe that is going to happen. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to come over here to the daily time frame and the weekly and just show you guys what's cooking. So down here, we have, first off, as you guys know, 72 has been massive for us. Okay, we have this massive daily, monthly, weekly area at 72. We've talked about this 100 times. This is going to be a huge area for us to be above or below. Always has been. Okay, this is the support to the all-time high. There's no getting around how important this is. Okay, also 73 from a daily perspective is this leg, the top down of this leg. So here, you can actually see these legs really good on the RTH chart. So you've got this pulls down. That's our first leg. Boom. That's our second leg, and there you go. So in order to get our first loss on the daily, we need to have a daily close below 59.50. Okay, that would shift weakness for me on the daily time frame. Okay, now we do obviously have some other untested stuff lower, which we're going to go over right now. Okay, so as you can see on this daily time frame, or the weekly, I still have a zone between 59.07, 75, and 5900.25 that is untested. Okay, that is right here. Now, this daily leg up that we talked about, it is tested at 59.10, but it could play again because we have these weeklies that are still wide open. Okay, so we're going to monitor this area if we come down here. That's if it even happens. Okay, I don't even know if we're even going to get down here. I'll just be frank with you, but we'll see. I mean, anything's possible. Okay, so from an untested daily perspective, technically, we have 59.73 and 59.87.75. And the reason that I say technically is because we have already done a rollover gap up. We have actually closed Friday at 60.30. Okay, so we actually smacked from this daily on Friday, and then the rollover, they're right here. Okay, and just so you can see what I'm talking about here. We closed all the way down here, and then look, boom, the rollover took us all the way up here to 60.30. So now we're back above this. So when I said technically speaking, this 59.87 is still untested. I got a 4 hour here at 78 and technically 73. All this could play. But I want to show you guys, I don't know if you can see this block. You see this gray block right here? This to me is all fuckery, okay? This is a rollover zone that I do not want to take part in at all, okay? So I am willing to take trades above this zone, right? And below this zone. But for me, I will not be doing business in this 50-point range or 60-point range. Not even interested, not even a little bit, okay? So that is kind of how I feel about it. So I'm interested in longs and such and price action above 60, 30, 75 and essentially below 59.80. Okay, so that is this right here is dead to me. Okay, so let's just make that very clear first off as I'm talking, because I want you guys to understand that. Okay, so again, we need a daily close below 59.50 for me to get bearish or even remotely like looking for downside, any more continued downside. As of right now, I still think there is a potential to move higher. Okay, and we talked about the untested weeklies of 5,900, etc. Now, if those don't hold, and I'm not saying they will, okay, we will come down here and we test this area, 58, 28, 75, and finally the 57.84. Now, both of these areas are good. We have the 200-day moving average at 58.37.75, which is super close to our 58.28.75 daily. And then we also have this this kind of zone here at 58.17.50, so you got like a 10-point zone. And then below, we have the daily that I was saying, which is the true main leg up at 57.84, and it's located directly with the 100-day moving average at 57.95. So we have a lot of high time frame moving averages down here that retail and hedge funds and stuff look at for long-term macro bias. And so, there's a reason to believe that this could possibly hold if we do come down here. Now, will it? I don't know. All right. So what we do know is we tested 53 perfectly in the overnight session and shot way up here. So if these areas don't hold, we very well could see 57.11.50, and this thing is in serious trouble at that point. Okay. So I just want to make sure that's very clear right up front. Once we get below, essentially, a lot of this, really 5,900 sucks because, underneath that, because it's all tested. Everything I have is tested. Look, you can see RTH leg down, bad below. This is no gain. All this is bad. So once we start to get below 5,900, we start to really kind of lose our bullish momentum, okay? And then really below 84, you can see right here, tariff leg down, bad, which is 57.82. That kind of lines up with the last untested daily we have at 57.84. So below that, it is super duper sketchy, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? Now, from an upside perspective, we want to get above 60.30.75 to continue our move up. We also have a weekly at 60.26.50. Getting above this could signal a possible continuation and breakout and take us up to our upside daily levels at 61.03.75 and 61.22. You'll notice that there is some other levels on the weekly up here. 61.29.25, which is directly above this daily, is also the big highest untested weekly. And then before that, we also have 60.96, which is about right here, which is real close to our 61.03 daily as well. So we have a pretty fat 20-point zone in there. There's going to be some serious high time frame resistance. We will tackle that when we get there. Not to mention that I found this earlier before I turned this on. We have a big untested naked weekly POC up here at 61.35, super close to our highest untested daily level up here. And I believe there is some 4-hour levels up there as well, which we'll get into right now, just to kind of show you guys what's cooking. Right up here, 61.38 and 61.39.75. This is the all-time high nasty lasties. Okay, this is like the last untested 4 hours before we make new all-time highs. So this kind of shows you, what we're looking at for higher areas here. And this 61.13 clearly kind of falls in line with this whole daily zone that we had prior. So you can see there's also singles right up to 61.12. So, we have every reason to believe that this area up here is pretty solid and could provide a reaction. This is just a lot of resistance, okay? But we know what we need to get above and below to make that happen, okay? So let's go down to the 4 hour here. You can see the reason I said Okay, so we lost support on the 4-hour, right? So this is our leg up, and there's all these little legs up within here. And technically this close here lost this 4-hour leg up, and then we came down and we closed again. But my thing is like, ultimately, even though we've lost 4-hour support or started to me, this is the leg up, all right? And we played it, we held it, we swept on Friday, we went, boom, okay? Now, this really hasn't lost anything. Now, I'm not saying it can't come down, okay? Like, hear me out. This is all speculation. I'm just playing this both ways. But, you can see this box. This is where I don't want to do business in, okay? There's technically an untested level here at 60.21.75, and there's technically an untested 4-hour level at 59.78.25. This could be resistance at 21.75. This could be support. Now, we know we're above this currently right now, okay? And then we have also a 4-hour level that I actually like. If we end up coming up here, I would look for this area to get a potential reaction at 60.42.50. We talked about this on Friday's Outlook. Don't let this level get away from you just because we're outside of this fuckery rollover zone, okay? Certainly don't let that get away from you there, okay? So I'm going to bring up this 1 hour real fast just so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So this has got everything overlaid on it completely, and even though we're up here, you can see this is untested. This 60.30 daily is massive, and then this is the 60.42. So it had yesterday or Thursday's point of control up here, and there's also a 3-day composite POC. There is a possible chance, since we're right here right now, that they go like this and come down and fill this rollover gap. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know, but I'm just telling you potential scenarios. Okay, so we know we need to get above or below. We know where it kind of goes bad, which is underneath 59.73, because all this is tested. And we need to stay above 60.30 and watch out for 60.42.50 for resistance, and kind of go from there. So that is pretty much it for now, guys. I mean, there is not a whole lot here to talk about, in my opinion, until we get a close that shows some weakness on the daily time frame. I'm still looking up. I don't really care. I'm trading the chart. I'm not trading the news. I'm not trading Twitter. All those guys are retarded. So with that being said, we also have, just wanted to point this out, if we do come lower, we do have this untested 4-hour down here at 58.86.75. I actually like this level quite a bit. So just wanted to throw that out there. The other thing that I wanted to throw out there is something I noticed last night when I was staring at this thing. Let me see if I drew it on this chart. I did not. Okay. It is on this chart. Sorry, guys. I know that you're going to be like, oh, that's a lot of lines. Don't care. All right, so look, here's the important part. All right, so we have these weeklies that I was talking about at 5,900 and 5,907, okay? Technically, the daily at 10 is tested. It was tested right here on the pop. Where's it at? Hang on, right here. It was tested right here on the pop, on the way up, right? So the daily is tested, but 07 is the weekly, and it's not tested, and neither is 5,900. It's just a zone. And here's that 4-hour at 86. So as you can see right here, watch for FBD at 0925. If we come into this 0775 or even the 5900 and reclaim this 5910 area, and especially 5930, this thing's gonna fucking squeeze. And you're gonna know at that point that this weekly is legit and it's gonna hold, especially if you get back above 5930. Okay, that's gonna be our big key for us. Look, it's played once, it's played twice. This is now a huge pivot for us. Okay, so a loss and a reclaim is going to be clutch. I think it's pretty obvious to see what's going on here. Okay, I'm just going to draw this out for you guys. And then obviously 72 is our like midline above below. Okay, I hope that you guys can see this. It's pretty damn obvious to me. So anyways, that's it. That's the plan. That's what's going on. And that's pretty much what we're working with. Now here's something interesting too. You might see that we got some liquidity right here. I got this box drawn out. Just a little something I was eyeing. This is the weekly TPO. There's a massive amount of activity down here at 59.70 and ultimately 59.50 through 45, which is what I'm watching. Not going to use this as an untested spot, but I'm certainly going to look for it. If we start to get back above and use this as some activity there, because we know buyers were once there, they could be there again. So I just like to point out this little stuff to you guys. And ultimately, if they do play this 07 double O's area and they reclaim, this could fucking really send us. So because that'll be the untested weekly and it'll be a squeeze off the failed breakdowns, and I would not short this for anything if that actually happens. So right now, just to let you know, I checked Weekend Wall Street. For those of you guys who follow me on Twitter, You can see right now the Dow is down technically off the CFDs 152 points. That is nothing for the Dow. It's about 15 points, 16 points for the ES, which is fine because, like I told you, we rolled over and we're way up. So, just looking at this right here, we're way up here at 60.30. So let's just say that we're down 15, 20 points. We're right down here at 6,000 again, and we still got this leg. And as you can see, once again, they held 72. They held it real nice. Came down, popped off of it, came down, held it again, swept, all that jazz, boom, and then right back up. So it's pretty clear why 72 is still our big level, guys. Okay, so watch your 87.75 for the untested daily and the 73 untested daily, 59.73, and then we got that 4 hour at 78. Really use this 72 to 73 area to lean on for above or below. So that's what I got. I'll see you guys on the battlefield on Monday. Looking forward to get back and slaying this market. Be very careful this week, guys. It's rollover, it sucks, volume sucks, all that shit sucks. We got some more time stuff going on, and it could just be a little hectic. So keep this zone in mind from 60.30 to 59.80. You guys do what you want. I'm not trading in there. So the only thing that I could potentially see myself doing, because we're at 60.30, is if we slip back below 21. I may try to get short to fill in this gap a little bit, but to be quite frank, it's not really the trade I'm looking for. So we will just see what happens and see how Monday opens up. I'm not going to get in the middle of Sunday's Globex nonsense, especially after coming back from vacation. So cheers, all. Talk soon.